If you're looking to break down the NAS100 market in a very simple way, where you're in the right place, because in this video, we're going to go over very briefly what has happened last week. And then also I'm going to share my game plan for this upcoming week on NAS100. I'm Lakeisha, and if you're new to this channel, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss any videos that I post about the markets. And then if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up because the algorithm loves that, and also it's more incentive for me to continue to make videos like this in the future. So let's just go ahead and do a quick overview of what happened last week. So we can see this was kind of our game plan. We were looking mostly for buys for last week. Price didn't even come down here at all. It just continued to push up, and then it pretty much got into the zone that I called out. It did overhang a little bit, but basically it hung out in the zone that I talked about last week. So looking really good on NAS. So as usual, let's go ahead and start on the weekly time frame, just so that way we can get a sense of what could possibly happen, especially now that we have a new administration and there is a level of uncertainty inside of the market based on this week alone. So if we look at the NAS100 market, we can see very clearly that for the past 2 weeks, price has been pushing up. Although this week it looks like it was a little bit mixed. Even though we closed bullish, there was basically a battle between the buyers and the sellers, basically landing somewhere in the middle. So next week could be a little bit iffy, but I'm still optimistic, and we are going to plan for both sides when we get to that level. Have you ever thought that you had to sit in front of charts all day in order to make money from the markets? Well, in this How to Trade with a Full-Time Job kit, I'm going to show you how to master trading in just 1 hour per day without sacrificing your job. You're going to get the strategies that I personally use in order to be able to make time in order to trade and learn and do whatever else I need to do inside of my life. So in this 31 video digital program, you're going to learn some strategies that I've used that you can confidently replicate in your own life in order to be able to trade the markets. And then I'm going to show you how to not get fired for trading and use some ethical ways in order to shine at work and build the skill, because like you, I'm working full time and I also want to get promoted. So I'm going to show you a whole bunch of other things as well, so that way I can get the promotion, I could get trading and make money from the markets. So if you want this, go ahead and check this out. And then in order to enhance your trading experience, then you can go ahead and check out this 4-video module where I show you my most profitable candlestick patterns that I use currently inside of the market. And it's only 47 bucks. So go ahead and add this to your cart and I will see you there. And we're going to get to that when I give you my game plan for the upcoming week. So let's go ahead and mark off a level. So the first level that we're going to mark off is that highest point inside of the market. So we're going to do that right there. And then we're also going to, just to let you know, this is at roughly 22,100 and let's just say 50. So I'm going to mark off that highest high inside of the market. And then another level that I see is pretty much where this level kind of stopped. We may make some adjustments later, but right now I'm going to set this level at 21,700 and let's just say 70, just to make it really clean. And then also the other level that I see here on the weekly, I do see this level right here at 21,185. And then we'll probably do one more level just because this is kind of far down here. But let's go ahead and mark off the level 20,725. So I think for the weekly time frame, this is enough lines. Let's go ahead and go to our daily. Okay. So now that we can see a lot more data on the daily time frame, let me zoom in a little bit. All right, so now that we can see a lot more data, now I have a better picture as to what's going on. When I'm drawing lines on a weekly time frame, it's more of an estimate because these are really big candles and really big wicks. Now that we have more data, we can break that down. So I really like the very top. This part is looking good, but this, I need to actually push this up. So mainly because this is new market structure and I really like to focus on most recent price action inside of the market. So now we're sitting at 21,000, let's just say 870 at the moment, and that looks good. I like this level so far, but actually I like that it tapped into there, but actually let me see how it looks if I moved it down. Okay, so ooh, I like this better. So this level is now sitting at 21,000 flat. So I'm going to look at this last level, and then I may add in a couple of levels because of what I'm seeing right now. So I actually want to move this down a little bit. Now we're looking at 20,690 roughly, pretty much 20,700. So I would rather use that. And going back to this level, so pretty much this is a really wide range if we were to measure this from here to here. Like this is 864 points inside the market. That's way too big of a zone. So I'm not going to draw anything on this time frame. We're going to go down to the H4 time frame and then see if there's some other levels that we can find. All right, scooting everything in because now this is getting pretty interesting. Okay, so I do see a few levels that I want to mark off, but before we do that, let me make sure that the levels that I've already drawn are good levels. So this looks good at the very top. This looks good. However, I do want to push it up just a little bit. Now we're sitting at 21,887, really close to 21,890. And this level right here is actually looking really good. Support is sitting there. We got a bunch of rejections, resistance, amazing. And now this other level right here is looking quite good. So I think I'm good with these. So let's add some additional levels. So I'm just going to clone. All right, so starting at the top, one really obvious level to me is sitting right here at 21,000. Let's see, 21,685, mainly because we have two supports sitting right here. So that's a level. And then the next level that I want to draw is right here at 21,000, let's say 350 roughly, mainly because we have several supports sitting inside of here. And if we look to the left, we have a rejection perfectly at this level. And then looking to the left again, we kind of have a support and some rejections. And then this is kind of a resistance, but price did blow through it. So this is looking really good so far. And then we have a nice support here, so I'm not going to touch that. This is still looking good. Let's go down to the H2 time frame. Maybe there's another level that we can refine. Yeah, scoot in. Okay, so this was the all-time high. And then this is the level that we drew. Just going to push this up just a little bit, just so that way the level is sitting on top of this resistance. So now this is sitting at 21,000, let's just say 900. It's really close to that. And then support that we drew looks good. This is looking good. I think I want to keep that. Although I may do something different with that. This is good. Okay, so this is interesting. There's a lot of chop inside of this area, but for the most part, price has come into this zone and then rejected. So what I want to do is actually pull this level all the way down to the most recent support. And this is now sitting at 20,600. So I like that. That looks good. All right, and if we go back to where most recent price action is, we can see that we have a really clean line right here, and then we also have the support. So what I want to do is just see how this would look if I move my support to right here. I like this better. Okay, so this level is now sitting at 21,200 and let's say 75, because I like this really strong support here, even though it did line up on higher time frames. But now that we have more candles, we have to adjust our levels. So now these are looking like really tradable zones. Let me measure this because this looks really big. 400, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. We're going to talk about a game plan in a second. All right, let's go to H1. All right, scooting this in. So just looking at everything, this still looks good, good, good. Okay, this all looks good. Let me just scroll to the left. I'm just looking just to make sure that things look aligned. Now that we have our levels, let's go ahead and talk about our game plan for this upcoming week. And the first thing that I see is price is basically sitting at this support right here. So if price was to come back to this support and just bounce off of it, then my first target would be right up here at these previous highs. That's a trading idea that I have. And then continuing with the bullish momentum, another thing that I would look for is for price to continue pushing up through here. Actually, let me use a different arrow so we can measure while we draw arrows. Pushing up through here if price continues to push, and then my next level would be right here, roughly 252 points, mainly because we are now sitting at the all-time highs of this particular market, and this is where resistance was. So I typically like to target previous resistances, so that's why that is there. And then on the downside, if I wanted to take a short-term short, mainly because the market is bullish. Sometimes I do take counter trend trades. So an idea for me would be like this. So price would have to break through, maybe retest this level, and then all the way down. And then what I would do is have price targets based on market structure. So right here, there's a support. So that could be a target right there. And then this one's a little iffy, but right there. And then that would pretty much be it. So let's go ahead and measure this entire zone. Oops. Okay, so this zone, wow, this is 400 points. But even if we went to one of our targets, the first target is 155 points. Definitely fits inside of my trading plan. And then going down, 270. And then, of course, all the way there. But basically, this is what I would have. I would have my take profit 1, take profit 2, and then take profit 3. And then just kind of waited to see what the market was going to do. Because, of course, price doesn't just fall in a straight line. Sometimes it can. Okay, so this is my game plan for the upcoming week. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. So that way I can continue making content like this in the future.